cycle currently set in Byzantium. I personally am floored beyond all words that we are starting on time. Hooray, go us!
Yeah, we did something.
Uh, which
Victory!
fills me with delight, but also a little bit of dread because I don't know what the gremlin attack will be now, because there's always at least one. Anyway, until that happens, we're just gonna play forward. Last game, our intrepid Motley uh, attempted to rescue the deposed Emperor Isaac and his son Alexei. Turns out they could only get one, in part because Isaac sacrificed himself. Meanwhile, Zacchaea and Mercutio broke into the apartments of the Venetian ambassador and stole some of his correspondence. So, currently, Alexei is en route to the ship that will take him to his brother-in-law, Philip of Swabia, a king in Germany. Is there anything that you four would like to accomplish at the moment?
I'm gonna be laying low for a while.
Okay.
I am going to be fashioning my weapons once more, and from some of the intel that I have been hearing from my gallivanting with some of the ladies in the field and some of the papers that have been looking at inside, I am going to actually be dipping my swords not only with the poisonous materials that they had, but I am actually going to be rubbing cloves of garlic onto all of my weaponry.
Okay.
I'm,
Uh,
go- I'm going to the rabble and the people of reduced circumstances to go collect my reward from the shadow person who asked me to help in this complicated aspect of statescraft because I was promised a reward, darn it.
okay. Tori, what's Rosa up to?
She's going to go back to the big guy, I forget his name, and show that we were victorious.
Okay.
Complete.
Ephialtes.
I forget his name.
The I was looking up titles. His name would be Dukes. Dukes. I have
Hazard?
this in my notes. I have this in my notes.
I
You guys
thought his
gave him
name
such
was-
a great name. Ephialtes.
Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
Ephialtes, yeah. The evil king.
All right. So, which one would you like to do first? Harry, of course, you're laying low, and you can do that whenever you'd like.
I'll probably end up moseying back to Ephialtes since he's more or less my secondary boss after I'm done collecting intel, as much as I don't like him. So,
Okay.
let's see what the sewers have in store for me. Wow.
Okay. So, uh, you go to where you know one of the drop-offs is. Uh, it's an entrance to the sewers. This is Byzantium. They have a pretty sophisticated bathhouse sewer water system. Uh, Certainly much better than anything you'd find in Europe even today, or current day.
Current day.
Yes. Uh, yeah, all those dirty Europeans. Greeks know how to stay clean.
Cloaca Maximus!
Yeah, something like that.
Well, that's the word for what the main sewer line is.
Yes, yes. Uh, and so there is a woman standing sort of next to the sewer entrance that you're used to. Judging just from her hair, the way she's dressed, the fact that she's wearing cosmetics and a lot of them. She's a sex worker.
He
I
did
said,
not
don't
get the
shame sex
prime
workers.
beat for working out of.
Yeah. What was that, Rob?
I said, don't shame sex workers, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm not. I'm not.
I'm not shaming her. I'm just saying that she did not get a lucky beat to work out of.
Yeah, you gotta stand in the sewer.
So
Entrance.
she's not. She's not in the sewer.
Like Pennywise the clown.
Near the entrance.
I know, I could see her in the sewer, just
Like
like
Pennywise the
like,
clown.
Hey,
Hey.
you want some of this?
I was thinking a little bit more that her particular clientele are usually night soil workers and tanners.
Okay.
Oh, that is a good question. What time of day are you going?
Probably sooner rather than later because reward.
Okay. So you decided, if I'm remembering correctly, you all decided to do your capers at night.
Yes.
Yes.
This would
Okay.
probably be dawn, or probably like early.
Let's say it's still a little bit dark.
Okay.
So sure. So the sex worker is still there.
Okay.
It doesn't look like she's had many clients tonight. It looks like she's been waiting,
Oh,
and so when she catches sight of you, Zakea, assuming you're not actively trying to tell me, are you the tumbler?
One of the things I might do.
I was told to wait for a tumbler.
I hope you're getting paid.
I am. It's easier work than what I could be doing.
Well, suppose I was a tumbler.
Well,
Do you need a demonstration?
if you happen to be a tumbler with letters, I'm here to accept delivery.
I don't know about letters. I wasn't asked to do any postal work. Zakea looks very confused. She was asked to liberate emperors.
I'm sorry. I got my notes totally wrong.
I just went on the letters mission because I was useful for stealth, but not as much for beat sticking.
Oh, no, you know what? Your contact is Nosferatu.
Yes.
He knows everything.
Say
What
who?
she says will stand.
The question is, I was attempting to take papers, and Mercutio was attempting to take papers. Do I have any of these papers left on my person?
I wouldn't
Yes.
sure.
So, yeah, I will say there are two separate documents, which reveal different things. You can certainly have one of them apiece.
Crumple, crumple, crumple. I don't know what this says. Do you know what this says?
So, she reaches out her hand for you to give it to her.
Mm-mm. I don't
Oh.
think you read with your hands.
Well, I've got to hold it, don't I?
I don't think that's how reading works. I don't know how to do it, but I don't think that's how reading works.
All right, so this is how we're going to do it. With a flourish, she puts her hands behind her back and like bends over to read the letter that you're holding up.
Mm.
And it looks like she's reading. You can make a perception plus. Oh, what would this be? Perception alertness.
That's not a bad stat for my character. Let me see if I can actually find my character sheet. There we go. Perception plus alertness. So that's 6 dice. Okay. One second, sorry. Here we go. And let's see what I roll up.
The suspense is killing us.
Ooh. So, 3 successes, 2 botches. So 1 success total.
Okay. So as far as you can tell, she appears like her eyes are like going back and forth in lines, and you can see her sort of like sound out the words. It is not a language that you are familiar with, because I don't believe you speak Italian.
Nope.
Okay. But you've been around enough Italian speakers that yeah, exactly, like Mercutio, that you definitely understand and can recognize the cadence of the language. So as far as you can tell, she's actually reading. She's not trying to make something up. And so she looks up and she's like, "Oh, that's disappointing." Now it is odd that a sex worker knows how to read and knows how to read Italian. But as far as you can tell, she does. She says, "Oh, that's just a description of what happened a few years ago when the old emperor deposed his brother. I suppose it is interesting that he's telling the other Venetians that this is how it happens."
About that? Well,
I suppose Constantinople is unique in that if you can foment a big enough riot, the throne is yours.
oh, I've always wanted a throne.
You and me both. I suppose it's interesting. Oh, that part's interesting. Apparently, our friendly local ambassador is offering to use the power of the mob to have someone else raised, though he's not sure who.
I suppose it's hard to pick.
I'm sorry?
Panda, you've gone mute for some reason.
Cannot hear you, Panda.
Oh no, Panda! Panda
No,
down!
unmute yourself. Panda, are you there? Panda, can you hear me? Hello, Panda. Hello. I wish I was close to her so I could just be in like character, be like, "Oh no, Zakea, you stricken down with the mute sickness."
There, lost sound briefly.
Oh, there you
There
go,
we
you're back,
go.
hooray! So, yeah, so she's telling you that the Venetian ambassador, Alessandro, is
Thanks for helping me tonight.
pretty much saying, I could foment a riot and have someone else put in place as emperor. I don't know who to pick, though.
Well, does he suggest a list of candidates?
Members of the royal family. I mean, they're all just as bad as the current one. You didn't hear that from me.
Okay.
Well, I'm not generally sure I know who you are, so I'm sure I could tell anyone I wanted.
Well, I believe we have mutual friends, but you can call me Theodora, like the first Empress.
Okay. Theodora.
So, and, uh, yes, and you will know that one of the first empresses in the Byzantine Roman Emperor was raised from a courtesan.
Well, we all have ambitions.
Don't we just?
Speaking
Well,
of emperors,
yes.
if a little mousy happened to be loose, I was understanding that I would receive a magnificent reward.
That's true. Are you going to hang on to that? She says, indicating the letter.
Well, it may or may not be conditional of me having completed the task to have received some compensation in the form of a little mousy being removed from custody in exchange for a small amount of paper.
So she reaches into, uh, like a bag at her hip and pulls it out, hands it to you. It's a slim leather purse, but as she shakes it, you can hear the jingling.
Now, I don't know whether or not you have this memorized. Zakea points at the paper.
Of course I do.
Then that's, I assume, yours to sell?
Oh, I wouldn't sell it. I will share it with our mutual friend, though.
All right, well, I have a stage performance in another 6 hours to get prepared for. It's been lovely being here in your business.
Pleasure doing business with you as well. If you need me, I'm in the neighborhood most nights.
Perhaps not at the opening of the sewers, though?
You'd be surprised.
I suppose. I've seen worse things at dinner parties.
Whatever you've said has just really amused her.
And my character scurries off to go give Mercutio his paper.
Okay. So I assume Mercutio is not trying to be hidden.
Excuse me?
I assume Mercutio is not trying to be hidden, that Zakea can find you easily.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I'm still in my elderly disguise, so yes, she could easily.
The first place that my character would be looking would be back in the lighthouse, because it's the only central point that she thinks that Mercutio knows about.
So about that lighthouse, I was doing a little bit of research. I don't think it's actually a lighthouse. I think it's more a guardhouse that anchored the Byzantine chains to sort of cut off access to the Bosphorus.
As long as it's not
If I am remembering correctly, where you decided to place
the freehold. As long
Yeah,
as
it's
it's not a
basically
chain made out of cold iron.
But that is, it probably is. But there are probably places you guys can go to get away from that.
Or possibly that's what they do for executions when they don't like you in the freehold. They hang you on it.
That is also a very gruesome possibility. I think that's part of the reality of the city now.
I think it sounds like something that our noble lord would do.
Okay. So I suppose everyone is converging on the freehold. Is Al-Asfa there, or are you still wanting to
I'll
lay
converge
low?
on the freehold.
Okay,
In
Everybody's
traditional
there.
fashion
Everybody's
of
there.
going up the wall and then coming in through the ceiling, staying in the rafters.
okay. That probably also keeps you safe from the heavy iron chains. Uh, so, uh, Rosa, when you show up, um, there's a little ripple of surprise as you walk in the door. And you can hear some whispers, and a couple of the changelings are just staring at you.
I call over one of my most trusted men and ask why.
Uh, I, I think she's pleased to see that you're alive.
And why wouldn't I be alive?
Uh, excuse me, my lady, but as I understand it, rumors have been circulating that you were given very difficult orders to fulfill. Deadly difficult.
Well, obviously people look down upon my abilities to fulfill these orders. I got them, I survived, I'm here. I want you to make it clear to the court that these rumors are not true, and I have proven myself once again to be vital to this court and vital to the she leader here.
Yes, of course, my lady. And so he scurries off and starts talking to the changeling who's got like the widest eyes staring at you. Uh, and you sort of see them in an exchange, like he's telling a story, and she keeps looking back at you like, really? Really? She did what? Really? Uh, and so the rest of you who are paying attention can sort of watch this rumor ripple out. I know, there you are, looking so innocent, Panda.
I didn't ask who did it.
Uh, and so, yeah, so you see Ephialtes. He's on his throne. He is surrounded by, his courtiers, his admirers, his inner circle. They're just sort of standing around and gossiping like she do. Uh, and he catches sight of you, and you see him give like a brief nod and a gesture of his hand, which is, pretty much approach. Um, it seems like there is something a little bit different about him. Uh, for this one, this would be perception plus Gremory.
Okay.
Or Kenning, I'll give you both.
Grimory or Kenning?
Yeah, whichever one's better.
My Kenning's a little better, so I will do that. 5 dice.
So the rest of you who are watching this can also make the roll.
Is 6 passable for this?
6 successes?
No, 6. Like,
Yeah, 6 or above.
yeah, gotcha.
This is a 5 dice roll.
I got 1 success.
It's Grimory and Kenning,
I got-
or Grimory or Kenning?
I got 4.
Perception.
3 successes.
Yeah, so it's going to be perception plus Gremory.
Okay.
Or perception plus Kenning, depending on which skill you have better.
Okay, that's 3 successes.
3
Okay.
successes.
Okay. And Tori, you got...
I got 4 successes.
Oh, wow, and Rob got 1. Okay, so Rob, you notice she are known for being just ridiculously beautiful. They are supernaturally gorgeous. And as a satyr, you're sort of keyed into beauty in all forms.
That I am.
I'm sorry?
I said that I am.
Yes. Ephialtes doesn't look as hot as he normally does.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you can't put your finger on it, but he just doesn't have it right now. So for the rest of you, you got like 3 or 4 successes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As you look at him, you notice, she generally have the tipped ears, like what Tori is currently showing off. Uh, as you look at him, his ears look a little rounded. They're not as pointed. They're not as shaped. His beautiful, lustrous, elven blonde hair has lost some of its shimmer. Uh, and so uh, Al-Asfa and Sakea can tell like something about his mien has faded a little bit. Rosa, you can tell, because you got the most successes, that something like this only really happens when a fairy is on the verge of forgetting. So when the weight of banality on their soul is so much that their fairy soul is at risk of just dying or going dormant.
Well, that's
For she,
convenient.
yeah. So for she, this is exceptionally bad, uh, because while Al-Asfa, Mercutio, and Sakea are running around, pretty much having taken over a mortal at birth and sharing 2 souls in one body, she don't do that. Like either they kick the mortal soul out completely, or they just show up in their true form. Uh, and so this makes them uniquely vulnerable to banality.
Dun dun dun.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Someone's
and
been
so
slipping taxes into his drink.
yeah. So like if someone like Al Asfa or Mercutio, if they entered forgetting, it's entirely likely that like their fairy soul would just go dormant within them. Eventually their mortal body would die. The fairy soul would be free, would inhabit someone else who would then go through the whole awakening chrysalis process. For she, that's a lot more dangerous. You don't have the comfortable meat suit on.
Hmm. That's an
Excellent.
idea. Just go up next to him. Hey, I was doing laundry the other day.
I mean,
Wait, have you guys seen the What We Do in the Shadows TV show?
Yes.
The energy vampire?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So about
I,
yesterday. Oh god.
He's the worst of all.
I'm just saying, uh, as a storyteller, if you want to do this, I will totally run you those seeds. I'm happy to do it. It will have consequences. A changeling inflicting banality on another changeling is itself a banal act.
Oh,
I say roll the die and let it ride, baby. Let's make
Wait,
this
did
big.
you say you wanted
that's
to
your
kill,
call. I'm not.
kill him right now? Is that what they were talking
I'm
about?
saying, yeah.
I was joking that he's vulnerable to some energy vampiring if people want to do that. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna stay in these rafters.
All right. Okay. So, my lord, you'll be excited to hear that the task, which seemed impossible, was fulfilled again by myself.
Good. So where is Isaac?
Straws are hard. Isaac. Yes, everyone is either put out or on their way to Germany.
So, Isaac was the old emperor, the old blind emperor, who was
Oh,
like,
I know.
"Let me stay here, take my son."
Oh, I know who he is.
Okay.
The one in Germany, I don't know where he went, but the one went to Germany and the other one was sadly fallen ill and dying or dead.
Excuse me?
Yes. The one was already on his deathbed, could not make the mission, so died in a cell.
What do you mean he died in his cell?
When we went to go rescue him, he sadly could not carry on. He had the cough of blood, which is something that we probably know.
Tuberculosis.
Okay, he had tuberculosis.
The consumption.
The consent, yeah.
And so he snaps his fingers. He looks really mad right now. Soothsayer, to me, immediately. And so another she runs up to him. This is someone who has a reputation for telling fortunes. Uh, and so he's very angry and he says, "You told me that Isaac would live long enough to assume the throne again." And she's like bowing and scraping and like, "Yes, my lord, that is the destiny that the stars revealed to me."
I'm gonna plop down.
Okay. Are you gonna do it right on the dais or into the crowd or?
Like
Good, right on
right
top
in
of his
between,
head.
right in between, between the two
The
she.
soothsayer.
Okay.
While all this chaos is happening, I'm gonna try to sneak this letter onto Mercutio.
Okay. Uh, everybody's pretty like wrapped up. Their attention is pretty much on the drama of like what's going on the dais right now. So Mercutio might realize that's what you're doing, but no one else will.
Okay. So
You had something to say?
me? Oh,
Yeah.
well, since the K is giving me the letter, I grab the letter because everybody's distracted, and I read it.
I'm trying to sneak it onto him without him noticing.
Without me, oh, so I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yes, he's gonna get it one way or the other.
So you can relent and say, sure, Mercutio doesn't notice, or you can off. It's up to you.
Question: What? Because I'm an assassin. I think I would notice if somebody's touching me or putting something on me, wouldn't I?
She
Okay.
also has the sneaky elegance of a cat.
I
Okay,
have
cool.
3 dots of stealth, dexterity maxed, 2 dots of wayfare, and 1 dot of the props realm.
Okay.
Never mind. You got it. I don't feel nothing.
Sure. Yeah, that works then. Mercutio, you have a letter you don't realize. Are you gonna read the one you do have?
Yes.
Okay. So, the letter that you do have, it is something that was sent to Alessandro. So while Zakea has a draft of what he was writing, you have something that someone sent to him. Uh, it is reporting that the Venetians have secured a papal contract, so from the Pope, to build ships to transport crusaders to the Holy Land to take back Jerusalem. There is a mention that this will allow them to compete with Byzantine traders after the crusade because they're going to keep the ships that the Pope is paying them to make. Uh,
Hmm.
the big sticking point is that the current Doge of Venice, a man named Dandolo, is demanding that the full price be paid before the ships are allowed to leave. The price tag mentioned in the letter is 85,000 silver marks, which is like kings don't have that much money. That is a ridiculous sum of money.
Hmm.
Uh, and so the correspondent is saying, uh, having to pay all of this money at once is going to hurt Venice. I don't understand why the Doge won't like let us pay him back, presumably when we return home with all of these treasures.
Hmm. You okay? So after I finish reading this letter, I
Uh-huh.
fold it up and I put it into one of my pockets. And when I put my hand into my pocket, I feel another piece of parchment that I never saw that was there before.
Okay, was that Zakea's intent?
Yeah, I don't mind if he finds it. Just I'm being a nuisance because cat.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
God, because cat. All right, yeah, and then yeah, and then
Cat
in
got
the
to cat.
yeah, and then in the confusion, I look around and says, what is this? What? And I'm trying to look and see who would put something in my pocket because I know that nothing was in my pocket. I look around to make sure that there's nobody actually focusing and looking at me. Then I pull out that piece of paper and I read it.
Okay. Yeah, it depends on if you see Zakea doing the like to you.
Well, okay. Is she actually trying to get my attention, or am I just looking and I just see her acting funny? So I know that is possibly her.
Yeah, like doing the cat arrogance. You don't
Oh,
matter,
she's
but you
just doing her
totally
thing.
do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's doing her thing, so I know that. Okay, it's okay. Gotcha.
All right.
Cool.
So, to return to the drama currently going down on the dais.
Oh wait, hold on. Question.
Yes.
What was the paper that Zakea had?
It was
That I
the
was
letter
reading?
that had been read earlier. That was the Venetian ambassador writing but not yet sending. I could start a riot here to put a new emperor on the throne, but I have no idea which one of these lovely candidates I should be picking in the royal family.
Gotcha. Cool.
Yeah.
Their system is very
So-
democratic. Literally the mob.
The mob. She's... Oh.
It's the absolute definition of direct democracy. I mean, it's pretty much like oh, they're rioting in Washington D.C., so now we out in California have a new president. Is pretty much how this system works.
Interesting. Okay, thank you for actually simplifying it because now I fully got it. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Back to the chaos.
Yes.
Oh, she.
So, Ealsafa is apparently very irate at his soothsayer because apparently she predicted that Isaac would live long enough to regain the throne, and right now Isaac is thinking that his soothsayer fucked up. And while he is berating his soothsayer, and so he's pointing to Rosa and saying, "Explain this." So his attitude is the soothsayer has to explain how Rosa's news fits into what she said. Al Asfa drops down from the beams up ahead, and so people notice you. The Duke's just says, "I'll deal with you later. You explain right now."
I just
Giant
drop
roll
down
up
in front of him and he's just like, later. Is that what's
Yeah,
happening?
you're a commoner. He doesn't care.
Oh, that is the worst dude ever.
All right.
I-
Worst guy.
I'll put
laugh
my
at
hand on his shoulder and I'll turn him towards me.
And so he just goes like, almost like his face almost bone white. "Do you presume to touch your dukes?"
My Duke. You're very presumptive. You're very presumptive.
Are you?
That is my business, but
Because you've never presented yourself at court, right?
I know.
Okay.
That is my business. I will tell you that we do not know for certain that the king is dead. Only that we left him behind at his request. He's probably dead. But not entirely.
I am sorry. Is this the second coming? Are these the prophecies of Saint John the Revelator coming true? For now I have this what are you, a troll? Dropping through my freehold? I've never seen you before, and you have the temerity to accuse a lady of the court of being a liar?
I don't accuse her of being a liar. I worked with her. Only that she may have misspoken.
Jesus.
And so he turns to Rosa and says, "The insult is yours, my lady. You may do with this unknown miscreant as you wish."
Yes, you may.
I
By
think
the way-
first off, I go. One second, my lord. I will see what this troll.
I'll
is
lean
trying
in.
to say. No. Wait, we go over here.
Okay. I'll walk over to the corner.
If you
Okay.
are going to drop down like that, you either cut his head off or don't. You don't just say I lied.
Do you want me to cut his head off? I can do that right now.
I think all of us want you to cut his head off.
Dumb son of a bitch, you should have already.
But now we're in more shit. Pardon my language. If you're coming and you're going to make yourself known, leave an impression on the sheet here. Do not just come and say one of the sheet, me, is a liar.
I think
I think I turned my head and I'm like,
a 7.5 foot tall man fell from the ceiling and laid hands on your lord. I think that's a.
As you turn your turn your head, Rosa, you see the soothsayer like right there doing another divination. Like someone has procured a chicken and she's just going at the chicken. And she looks like she knows what she's doing. And she will probably be able to read in the entrails that Isaac is still alive. Because he was when you left him.
Yes.
Huh?
great. Just great.
Perhaps they were
now
more
that you're-
merciful than we thought.
What?
I
They
said
were more
perhaps that the guards are more merciful than we thought.
This was the exact reason why I wanted to either carry him with us or not. Now we have to deal with that crazy mofo.
I can still kill him.
I mean, he's weak. Do you see him?
Would you like me to kill him? This is your call. I'll do it on your order.
It's so lovely to see my friends together and getting along. They have such sensible strategies.
His
and
head
it's
can
clear
roll.
To see that you're a foreigner and you don't know the ways of the civilized she. You meant nothing by it.
Oh, don't
and
get
as
me
we
wrong.
know,
I know the ways of the she.
Emperor
I do not
Isaac
care for them.
collapsed into a coughing heap, blood down his front. There was no breath in his body.
All you guys are doing all that. I'm slowly walking towards the soothsayer. I'm in the crowd. I'm just quiet. I'm slowly going towards the soothsayer where the soothsayer
We're about to
and
fuck this up.
Ephialtes are, while you guys are making a big old crowd. That's just distracting everybody. So, out of character, if you guys want to freaking kill him, just do it already. Jesus.
It's not my call. I can't.
It is your call.
Alright, so here is what happens next. The soothsayer, who's like up to her elbows in like chicken effluvia, turns to Ephialtes and says, "My dukes, the signs are clear. Isaac will become emperor one day." And so Ephialtes, like, he's really mad. There have been so many insults to his authority in just the past like 10 minutes. So he turns to Rosa and he says, "Lady Rosa, what has happened to my dreamer?" And so you would understand when he says dreamer, this is someone that he draws glamour from.
Okay.
So, and
Do we
without...
know who that is?
I'm sorry?
Do we know who that is?
I think that
Say
would be
that
a
one more
perception
time.
check.
His dreamer is.
Question, yeah. What is the significance of a dreamer to Ephialtes?
Food. They're foods
Yeah.
for fairies.
Is his
Oh, so-
food the fucking emperor?
So basically, it's like their top.
Oh!
Like, main number one suck.
Oh!
Right?
Yeah, so...
Oh, snap. Ooh,
Yeah, so he is
Rosa?
getting worn down because his source of glamour has been cut off, and he is
Oh.
very mad that he didn't get it back.
So, dude is weak.
Wait. Okay, hang on. So
Yes.
he's asking me about his dreamer. Sure, I'll do this.
Yes.
which
Did I say
we
friend? I don't know these people.
which we presume is the Emperor current.
Isaac,
Well,
Isaac.
the blind man you left behind in the cistern.
Whoops.
My bad.
So if he was dead, he would be upset, more upset. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, seeing is like how you look at Ephialtes right now, how his Fey mean is fading. Isaac was probably a source of glamour and sustenance for him. So, he's upset that Isaac isn't here for whatever reason.
Isaac would not have survived the journey. He would have died on the way here. If he is still alive, it is by God's grace.
And Ephialtes does not know that Isaac is dead. He just knows that he's not.
Isaac's
here.
not dead.
Yeah.
I was lying. I was trying to say I completed my damn mission. Excellent.
Yeah.
So what happened to my dreamer is what I was told.
Yeah, so Ephialtes is demanding from you what happened to my dreamer. And so hearing that Isaac is Ephialtes' dreamer, it all kind of clicks into place for you. So this guy just totally fucked up the local politics because he's hungry.
My hand will just go to the sword at my side, and I'll look to
I think
Rosa
I-
like, should I?
I'm like,
Boom!
your dreamer's dead. I said, your dreamer's dead.
Your dreamer's dead, and with that, I'm removing his head from his shoulders.
I'm getting away from these people.
You would.
Okay. All right.
Want me to roll for that?
Yes,
Yeah!
please. So
Can I
that
give any
is
boosts? Because I kind of gave him the nod.
I don't need no
I-
boost.
so
You know, 7 foot troll.
you can distract everybody. Like, hey, everybody, look at me.
Oh, I
ignore
want
the
people to
assassin.
see this shit.
Right, but you want to
Okay.
be able to actually strike successfully.
That's true.
Yes, you have to get
Yeah.
past his guards, flunkies, she's, hanger-ons.
Alphialtes. Hold on. Question. Alphialtes, is it possible that before you're about to strike, that I could throw you one of my weapons?
The way I'm
Or
gonna
no.
the way I'm gonna do this is I am not going to just run up to him. I'm going to activate one of my abilities, which is one of my cantrips,
Ooh.
which is the Stormcraft something or other. I don't have the book in front of me,
Okay.
and I don't have my sheet in front of me because my computer fried itself, and then the new computer I ordered got sent to Saratoga Springs instead of here, and so now it's on its way back here. Which, gotta love that, right? But I
Thank you for
believe
continuing.
I can use it on myself to instill incredible speed.
Incredible speed.
While that is happening, I would
Okay.
say is the thing I'm allowed to say if I'm attempting to be a distraction, I think instead of just responding, I yell. I say, your dreamer, the ex-Emperor Isaac, is dead. So that people are like, what did she say?
Yeah, and I believe as a she, you have access to Sovereign, right?
Oh, I have a lot of sovereign, yes.
Yeah. So you how much so Sovereign is an art. How much of the Fey realm do you have?
The Fey Affinity?
Fey realm.
Like in my realms, I have it
So
set
you
Fey and then
should
Affinity.
have dots and realms.
Yes, I have
How many dots do you have to pay?
Affinity, so 2. Like Fey Affinity is what I have.
Okay.
called.
Okay. So with okay. So all you really need is 2 dots in Fey to also affect other she. So yeah, I won't make you roll for it because we've done a lot of rolls already. So you pop Sovereign, and you combine it with the Fey realm so that this power affects all the other changelings watching. And so all of their attention is on you when Al-Asfa just scimitars or attempts to. So, Harry, go ahead and give me, let's make it strength plus melee.
Okay, and should I add anything because of the speed of the cantrip, or just strength plus melee?
Uh,
Would argue
I will say that because of the speed of the cantrip, the guards simply cannot react fast enough to block
Brilliant.
you. So if you get enough successes on this roll, he dead.
Okay. The button has been pressed. Let's see the results. Let's see the results. Okay, that's 5. That's 6. 6 successes.
Shit.
Out of 11 dice. I got the specialty for that sword.
I did not plan for this.
I didn't either.
You just gave
But
us
yeah,
something this
you
week.
you swing your scimitar, the light glints off of it, and now if there's a she on the floor.
I will
And I am
continue.
going to continue with that speed and make my exit.
I will continue.
Yes,
Up
that
in
is
the-
probably a really good idea. So there is one round of just complete shock and horror from the court. Did that just happen? Also, Harry, roll ennui for me.
Oh yeah.
This is a really banal act.
How many I gotta roll for that?
Let me see. Let me look that
Oh,
quick. I should have a GM screen.
That's gonna be another.
Yes. So
we're getting
Roll
ready to get murdered.
Good job, Alfie.
it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficulty because you have just killed another fairy.
So I can tell you I pretty much don't have enough dice to pass that, so I'll just mark that.
Go ahead and
Roll
roll.
anyway,
I mean,
dude.
if you want to take it, you could take it.
Okay,
You
that's
never know, baby.
2 successes in that roll, so.
At 9?
Oh, the difficulty's 9. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay, I misunderstood. That is 1 success at 9.
Lucky
Okay.
roll.
Still pretty good.
Oh, then I misunderstood that what we did for the previous roll too. Okay, that doesn't matter.
Uh-oh.
No, for the previous roll, I was simplifying combat
Okay.
because I didn't really care to get into it that
Got it.
much. You
But,
got 6
like-
successes. You're fine.
Brilliant.
Imagine he's like, uh-oh, you didn't kill him. He's back.
His head just pops back on his shoulders.
What? That would be so freaky. What did you just try
Yeah.
to do?
So, with 1 success, you kill him, and for a moment you can sense the dreaming all around you, and you have a vague memory of what it was like in Wales when the dreaming was just pervasive and always there.
Mm-hmm.
And you realize, like, oh, it's changed a lot. It's like it's sort of faded, like it's at like a low tide. And as your sword swings, you feel it recede even further. And you can draw upon your assassin training to sort of overcome the spiritual effects that it has on you. But you won't forget that moment of feeling the dreaming retract just
Mm-hmm.
a tiny bit more.
Okay. Yikes.
And he's gone?
Yes. So, Al-Asfa does this thing, this horrible thing, and
I don't know about
everybody at court is just dumbfounded for a full round. So if there's anything you want to do within a round, you can do it. Uh, and then everyone just sort of loses their shit, but in very different ways. Some people are chasing after Al Asfa, but you've got
Good luck.
yeah, but you've got your skycraft up, so they can't catch you. The soothsayer is losing her shit. Panda.
I steal the chicken and climb into the rafters.
Mother-
Hey, yeah. So, no one is impeding any of you from leaving because they're still trying to process what just happened.
Just eating the chicken.
I would like to order my men to surround the what do you call it? The
Dais?
The dais. Surround the dais. I think. Is there another royal, kind of more than me in this area right now? I would presume.
Yeah. So there are 2 or 3 she, who you are aware of and you have interacted with before. You're all pretty much of equal rank with each other, as far as the changelings count it. You could totally seize power right now if you wanted to.
I always want to. So, I think I go over to the body. I make sure it's dead.
There is no question. It is very dead.
I hit the neck where the head.
Just like stick your
Yes,
finger in the artery. Just it's not beaten.
He feels dead. No, this
So,
one's dead.
Tori, I would also like you to roll for banality. So roll your glamour. This will be normal difficulty, which is 8.
I'm stress eating the chicken.
Stress.
Okay.
Just a raw chicken.
Oh
I
shit!
am
I got 2
also-
successes.
Okay, that's good. So you sort of feel as you look on Ealsifa's dead body, you feel sort of the same thing that Al-Asfa did when he committed the murder of, as awful as he was, a fairy is dead. And because he is she, you don't know if he's ever going to come back. And so you also sense that retraction and growing smaller of the dreaming.
I think I turn to the other she and I proclaim that this one has caused much selfishness and much turmoil in our realm for his own benefit and gain. I am saddened that one of our own has fallen today, but we must prevail and go on and learn from his mistakes.
And so they sort of whisper among each other, and you can see one of the she. So have you seen, like, near the end of Game of Thrones where they're like, who's gonna be the next king? And Brynden Tully puts some sword. Everyone else is like, sit down.
I kind of, you cut out a little bit, but somebody.
Oh, I'm sorry.
actually said-
So near the end of Game of Thrones, they have to decide who's going to be the next king, and Brynden Tully puts himself forward, and everyone else is like, "Sit down."
yeah.
There's a she, whom you know, who looks like he is about to do that. And so you can either tell him, "Sit down, I'm in charge," or let him speak up and let him take power.
I would not let him take power.
Did we just install Rosa as the head of this fucking freehold?
I think you did.
I literally, I go, Do not say what you must. I am the one with the most knowledge here. And I would call upon everyone to let the troll go as of now. We have bigger things to deal with.
Uh, and so the young she who is about to step forward, uh, sort of backs off, and there's a lot of like looks between him and the other she. And so almost by like this unspoken agreement, uh, they say, "Long live Dukes Rosa."
Stop it.
Uh, and so like a couple boggans, who you know is sort of like housekeeping fairies, they come forward and like they start like clearing the body away.
Clean the floors too.
Yeah. And Alas was gone. He is no longer in the building. Uh, Mercutio and Panda, what are you doing during all of this chaos?
I'm stress eating the chicken because I'm now out of a. Although I didn't like the Lord, a job.
I'm gonna. Oh, sorry.
As far as I know, the city is in dire peril and everyone's going to die, and now I know why. And I want to be well out of the way whilst she's asking various people to swear oaths to her. So let's stress eat that raw chicken.
Okay. Mercutio, what you up to?
I am still by the dais.
I'm sorry, a little closer to the microphone?
I'm sorry about that. I'm still by the dais. Still observing what's going on, just in the background.
Okay.
As soon as I can like lose the people chasing me, I'm gonna try and make a big circle back to the lighthouse.
Okay. Yeah. So Rosa ordered for you to be let go. So they pretty much only get a couple yards outside before they go back in. Yeah, and like Panda said, Rosa, you're gonna spend like the next hour as she and other nobility kneel before you and swear fealty. And a lot of them are just stunned. They're like, this is not how I was expecting today to go. But, you know, as we sort of concluded, Ephialtes was a tyrant, and a lot of them are, you know, secretly relieved that he's gone. And some of them could also tell, like, his hold on himself was slipping. It was only a matter of time before something like this happened.
Once this is done, like once all this hour of like swearing fealty is over, I'm gonna drop down right behind Rosa. I'm gonna not do it silently. I'm gonna do it loud enough so she knows I'm there.
Okay, so are you waiting until pretty much everyone has left? Or are you wanting to sort of make a show of support for Rosa in
I'm
front
gonna
of
make a
everyone
show of
else?
support. I'm gonna keep my face mostly hidden except for the part that's really fucked up for dramatic effect.
Okay.
And I'm gonna drop down behind Rosa, and I'm just going to sort of not kneel, but I'm going to whisper that you have my sword. Now we should prepare our defenses.
Okay. Rosa, you will note that this is not a formal oath. So when fairies swear oaths, they're usually bound by the dreaming, and that is what everyone coming up to you to swear is swearing by. So if they break the oath, they take banality. Al-Asfa has not done that, but I mean, he seems like a reliable fellow.
Yeah, just don't become like Ephialtes and you should be fine.
He just seems to murder. quite often, but no. He was
So-
murdering with my agreement, so I definitely take what he has to say and with like that's pretty sweet.
So,
Yeah, go ahead.
Mercutio, if I am remembering our world building session point 5 correctly, Ephialtes was the guy responsible for killing your parents, right?
Yeah, for the most part.
Whoops.
So, what are you up to in light of that?
I'm staying quiet. I'm staying quiet and I'm in the background and I'm looking directly at Al-Asa. He doesn't notice me looking at him, but I'm looking at him, thinking in my mind, you took away my life's work. My one and
Oh
only.
shit.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Well,
You took away my life's work, my one and only purpose in life. To take away the person that took my parents.
So,
But
I do want to sort of like clarify a little bit about how sort of like role playing goes, how I imagine it to go. Saying that you are looking at Al Asfa, and that's fine because you are defining what your character is doing, but you want Al Asfa to not notice you, and so
Oh yeah,
that's
I was
either
doing
up
this.
to Harry or the dice.
Okay, because I was trying to do it during the whole procession of him pledging fealty to Rosa, while he's completely distracted.
Yeah, if I was
Okay.
whispering to Rosa, I wouldn't notice.
Yes, that's when I
Okay.
was. I'm sorry, I didn't clarify that. My fault. I apologize.
Sure.
I didn't clarify when I was actually doing it. I was doing it during the I pledged my allegiance to Rosa, and that's when I was like, ah. I look. I'm not. It's not a like a glare of hate. It's just
Okay.
look like ah. That just happened, and in my
Sure.
mind, I'm
So
thinking all of this, but it's just my actual visage is that just happened.
okay.
So
So
yeah,
at
I
a
didn't.
particular moment, your mask slips.
I wouldn't say it slips. I would say that it's just what's on my face, but in my mind, that's what I was thinking.
Okay.
Sorry, I
Cool.
didn't clarify when I was doing it. My bad
No,
about that.
that's fine. That's cool. I'm glad we got a chance to clarify.
Yeah.
So, uh, Rosa, she nobles. Some of them are bickering over precedence. Who gets to swear to you first? uh, but yeah, you are now the new dukes of the Freehold.
It's great.
Uh, your will is law. Um, there are questions about what this city should be doing to prepare for the oncoming crusade. But since most of the crusade preparation in Venice and other parts of Italy, that decision is not important. You don't need to make a decision right now. You can take some time to like learn the lay of the land and talk to other people and find out what's going on before you decide to do anything.
Probably the smart option.
Okay. One big question that is presented to you is what should happen to Ealsifa's body? Ephialtes' body.
I believe he should get properly buried the way most Fae and she should.
Sure, they start making funeral arrangements.
Yes, because I didn't kill him.
You did
Yeah.
give the order.
I was like, hopefully no one else saw that.
She didn't give an order. She just looked at you and you just went off. Technically, so I'm not gonna lie. I'm backing Rose up on this one. She did not say cut him down. She looked at you. You just got pretty eyes.
Oh,
He
come
knew.
on. Are you really going to use the defense that you didn't know the troll was loaded?
Oh no,
I mean-
no. I think the troll and I were on the same page.
Oh, we were.
I don't think that everyone else in this court knew
Uh,
that I was on the
so,
same page as the troll.
Harry, does Al Asfa, he's Arabic, right?
Yes.
Is that how he dresses?
Yes, he dresses like a Bedouin.
Okay, so, Mercutio and Sakea, as you're sort of like standing in the receiving line, uh, Ephialtes was assassinated. He was a good Christian leader. He was cut down by the Arab infidels. This obviously has something to do with the Crusades. This was obviously a political machination. You know, thank the dreaming, we have a Templar taking his place to protect us.
Definitely going to go out of my way to be absent when it comes to oath swearing and the like. Zakea has some very complicated feelings. In a little while, the soothsayer is going to be confronted in someone covered in bits of chicken asking them incoherent questions.
Okay. What would you like to know from the soothsayer?
Are we all gonna die?
Uh, and the soothsayer, like, sort of like, hands still with like drying chicken guts. It's like, I don't know. I'm certain Isaac is alive. The signs could not be more clear.
Well,
Something
perhaps
is
you didn't get
coming.
it wrong.
I know something's coming. I don't know what, but it's on its way.
Have you ever thought about going to the laundry?
What?
I'm just saying, maybe you should think about going to the laundry and speaking to somebody who might know what's going on. But maybe you won't, maybe you will.
So she looks around and she looks back at you and realizes you're a puka and it says, "Are you capable of telling me which laundry?"
Well, if you're in the palace, there's an interesting set of stories about these laundry women, and they really enjoy a good tale, and they're very friendly people.
And so she sort of like looks at like her clothes covered in chicken blood and says, I should go have a wash. Thank you, friend." And so she scurries off.
Cat with all its hair standing on end, back arched, is like hopping off, making little noises.
Okay. And so is there anything that all of you would like to accomplish while the other changelings in the city are still here?
Well,
Um,
so do the other people not swear? So did either one of them? Because I know it sounds like Zakea was not wanting to swear, but I definitely know that they're all here, so it'd be intriguing to me if I knew one of them.
So, what I would like to say is that at some point, all of the unnamed fairies who have sworn loyalty to you are to take care of their own matters in their own households, and you are left alone in the freehold with just Zakea, Mercutio, and Al Asfa. So if there's anything that you want to accomplish before everybody else leaves, let me know. Otherwise, we can skip forward to that scene.
Yeah.
Rob, I saw you. It looked like you said something, but I couldn't hear it.
Oh, I said skip forward. Skip forward. You can skip
Okay.
forward.
All right. So, this impromptu ceremony has concluded. The freehold is empty. There is a balefire here. A balefire is sort of this magical source of energy where if you stand next to it, you can get glamour refresh. But none of you need that right now. Uh, so yeah, you are in an empty freehold and can speak to each other as you wish.
Well, that
I
was
would say
something.
my men are guarding the doors too, by the way.
Yes, okay. They are far enough away that whatever conversations you have will be private.
Is Mercutio
Hiya.
still looking at me?
Is he?
Yeah, I see now. Right now, I don't know because if I still look at you, that starts some shit. But I'm like, do I really want to start some shit right now? You know what? Now I'm not looking. I'm pretty much okay now.
Okay.
Pretty much okay now. Okay. Yeah.
Well, that
By
was
Athena's
unexpected.
Whited, unkissable mouth.
Hmm?
Have you decided to start a trend that all the she will buy neck armor and pointy hats? Lest they too fall afoul of falling Arabs?
Well, I'm lucky to have so far the Arabs on my side. But that was intense, and thanks for making it crazy.
Is there no loyalty amongst Fae?
I think there are loyalties amongst Fae, but when one Fae caters to himself over the masses, I am 100% fine with what Alfonso.
Alfonso!
I was like, Alfonso, sorry. I'll ask.
I mean, it's possible that your tongue just sort of trips over his name because Arabic's not a language you're used to speaking.
Yeah. So, yeah, Alfonso.
Would you have had Lady Titania's eldest strike down her youngest?
We were in the dreaming altogether. I was not on either side, I was on both. And depending on which side makes the most sense at the time, I will take. And it is naturally my right to rule. So this situation coming up just seems like the dreaming was giving me my opportunity.
Perhaps you are forgetting yourself.
I don't have to recreate, so I don't ever forget.
Ooh. Ice cold.
So, Rosa, you would know that she are vulnerable to banality. You have this ageless thing going on, which sort of exempts you from the cycle of reincarnation and rebirth. Uh, you you don't know what would happen if you fell so far into banality that your fairy soul would die. You obviously don't have to tell your compatriots that, but that is something that you would be aware of.
So, even explaining what you guys all saw, that sadly, no matter what, his Fey self was dying. So, after months of doing wrong, and do we call it banality? Is that like we're all cool with that, or? Okay.
Sure. I mean, technically, all of you are speaking Greek, so there is probably some Greek term that you're using to refer to this, like, force of boredom and disbelief.
Okay.
We will default to banality because that's what the mechanic says.
Okay. So once a she or any of us Fae fall victim to the banality, some must go.
While this is happening, I'm
Then
gonna go
shall
over
I
to
swear an
Mercutio.
By your law,
Hmm?
then shall I swear an oath then by your law?
I don't necessarily know if you have to, Zakea. It's fine by me. I know you always do really what you want. And as your other two compatriots, I've spent a lot of time with you all. I'm not expecting you to accept me as your leader, but it might make it more smoothly and you would have a job.
You wouldn't want someone whose job was to bring light and life and entertainment, who's so clearly failed at their job.
I wouldn't want someone?
Cat flounce.
I'm
Would
sorry,
you
what
just
the heck?
right away?
What is a cat flounce? Can you explain what a cat flounce is? Can you put that in a sentence? Oh my god.
Yeah, you ever seen a cat sort of snub you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you just do that one more time, Panda, please?
And that's totally fine. She may leave.
Damn, Rose is ice cold. I'm gonna go up to Mercutio because he's not being his normal self. I'm gonna make sure he's all good.
Okay.
Mercutio, are you all right?
Yes, I am.
Something is bothering you.
Nothing is bothered. Nothing. How could you do this to me?
What did I do to you?
You know exactly what you did.
I am afraid I do not.
You took away from me the one thing that is. I am trying not to be angry, mentor. I have learned so many things from you, but you took away the person that took away my mother and father.
Well, I must
trying
tell
not
you.
to be angry,
I must.
but
Mercutio, sit with me. I know how you feel right now. I do. And I think at the end of the day, had that been your blade, you would feel the same. There is no satisfaction in revenge, no glory. This feeling you feel, you will probably feel for the rest of your life. Killing him won't bring back your parents, and me killing him didn't deprive you of anything.
at this time, I take off my hood and I take off my prosthetics because I still had it.
Yeah.
Rob, you're super quiet right now.
Oh, sorry. Can you not hear me? Can
Now-
you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
now I can hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was like being all dramatic and speaking low. I'm sorry.
I know, you had no idea what you were saying.
Yeah,
my bad,
you
my
gotta
bad.
be.
So-
It seems like you gotta be like really up
There
close
we
to your
go.
microphone.
But
There you
I'll
go.
just be alright. So I look up at him after taking off my prosthetics and like, I will always feel this feeling in my heart.
Yes.
You had no right to take that from me. I needed my soul, my heart, my wounded feelings to be patched, to be forever taken from me, from my mentor. I can forgive you now, but my heart forever is wounded
You would
by the God that can never be healed by.
had it been your blade, you would feel the same way. You will feel pain and disappointment now, but I think it's better this way. Had you gone through with it, you would feel nothing but emptiness. Satisfaction does not come with revenge, and you would carry that emptiness for the rest. You'd carry that emptiness for the rest of your life. This pain is temporary. You will heal.
You tell me I will heal.
You will.
You tell me this emptiness will never be filled.
No.
But for me, destroying and dispatching the person that took my parents, that took the people that I loved, would have at least put something in this empty, filled, unfillable hole that is in my heart. You have
And so-
more than filled yourself. But I am okay. You are my mentor. And for that, I am grateful.
I apologize, but I
So-
think yes.
Mercutio.
Yes.
As you are talking about the loss and the grief that you
Oh
feel,
no.
Oh, shit. Oh, no.
I'm not gonna make you roll because this is very tangential, but I've sort of narrated what Al-Asfa and Rosa have felt about the dreaming sort of retracting and drawing back. as you speak, you feel the same thing. Like a little bit of magic has gone out of the world forever.
Okay. Sorry, and I'm like, give me a second to react to that so I could.
Yep,
Okay.
that's fine. Take your time.
The feelings that have come over me are feelings that I've never want to feel again. I know that it's true. I know they're wise. For this, I forgive you, my mentor. My mentor, Alasfa. For I feel if I hold this pain in my heart for you, it wouldn't be the undoing of me. And I bow to him.
I'm gonna put my hand on his shoulder and sort of like lift his head a bit. You've proven yourself to be a talented assassin. You are no longer my trainee. Now, of course, you're welcome to stay. You are also welcome to go. That is your choice. But you've proven yourself in my eyes. I think that you are ready to be an assassin.
I take my head, I put my head down again, and I raise my eyes. Hold on. And I'm shedding some tears. Thank you, my mentor. You've let me free. I shall want to stay with you, and not be your apprentice anymore, but be your companion.
I'll offer him my hand for like a handshake. Instead of the bow that an apprentice would do, it's the handshake of equals. Just.
Am I allowed to be like, are you guys done? Because I feel there and watching this.
Yeah, your character can say whatever you want.
Are you guys good now? Are you done?
Yes, I think we are.
As she sees one of the guys crying. What is going on here? A lot of emotions. But I was under the impression that you guys had 2 missions that night. How did the other mission go as well?
The mission went absolutely fantastic. I received.
Rob, you just gotta cuddle your microphone.
I'm sorry. Dang.
Or just put it right like on the desk in front of you.
Yeah.
I like the desk is like literally. All right, let me try to come a little bit down. All right, maybe this. You hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
The mission went absolutely successful. I have these parchments that I love. Here, my new Duke enrolled. And
I'm sorry, Rob. You literally just have
oh,
to
you
cuddle
still
it.
can't hear me? Oh wow,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
I had
Wow.
nothing.
I'm so. Yeah, I probably have to reset. I'm sorry. So I said, the missions went absolutely fantastic. I have achieved some very sacred parchments. I pulled the parchments out of my hand and I said, "Here by royal and new Duke and royalty," and I give it to Rosa.
Okay. You've seen me narrate the letters. It's about the Venetian ambassador. He's writing a letter that says, "Hey, I could probably fire up the mobs to put someone else in the seat of emperor if there's someone that we'd rather have." And then a letter sent to him, pretty much saying Venice is building the ships for the crusade. It's expensive, which will hurt them in the short run, but in the long run will probably be good for Venice because now they have all these ships.
Yeah. Interesting. So, just out of character, I guess.
Mhm.
The new emperor / the emperor that's been around for how many years now?
About 6.
Has he been doing good? I mean, we're on tyrant.
How many dots of politics do you have?
Should have a decent amount. I have 2.
Go ahead and give me perception politics or intelligence plus politics.
Perception or intelligence? I will do intelligence if you let me.
Whichever one's better.
Hang on,
Sure,
let me
like I said.
reset. Because I was.
By the way, Harry.
I got 2 successes.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Rosa.
So as you're sort of thinking about who else would be a good emperor, like Isaac obviously is dying, so if he becomes emperor again, he's there for like a year before he keels over, and then who else? Um, how good of a job is the current Alexios doing? You remember hearing rumors that the Imperial Navy is literally being sold off piece by piece uh, by someone who, let me make sure I get his name correct, Michael Striffnos. He was appointed commander-in-chief for the Navy and has literally been selling it off to the nail uh, for his own benefit. Like he'll take the anchor off his ship and he will sell it as raw iron to the
Jesus.
blacksmiths and pocket that as his personal profit.
Pirate, man.
So he's not a pirate because he is married to the Empress's sister, so there's nothing anyone can do to stop him.
Oh, this dude is bored. And
But
wow.
I have a bunch of assassins on my side now, huh?
Yeah, and so this sort of
That's
like
true, right?
he's
Ooh.
selling off the Imperial Navy like plank by nail. Super corrupt, but no one is stopping him. That is how this emperor is ruling.
Oh,
Question.
Jesus Christ.
Is this is this person selling off the ships just because because they're already connected? Are they doing it just for greed because they want more money, or is it because they have nothing to do because they're so high powered that they just are doing this for fun?
It's greed.
Greed.
So
Okay, money.
the ships that he's in charge of are the Imperial Navy. So if anyone ever brought a fleet to threaten Constantinople, these are the ships that would be expected to defend the city. That's what he's selling off right now.
Jeez.
And nothing in the letters actually say what Panda knows. Right?
Which in specific?
Well, he showed me all the letters he had, I thought.
I gave him my letter as well, so you know about
Yeah.
you know everything.
Yeah, you know everything.
Except I'm pretty sure Zakea knows more than we do, just with the whole laundry thing, right? Like we don't know about any of that.
No.
That is correct.
Yeah, okay, just making sure. Because she knows that death is upon us. or bad stuff might happen.
Yeah, you know that bad stuff might happen. Or I have a very hysterical laundress.
Either way, we're not for sure. But very interesting. My thing is what else do I know? So we know that the Emperor's not the best guy. We know that the Empress kind of rules behind him pretty hardcore. We've met with one of her courtsmen. He didn't like us. We killed him. I guess what I would inquire from you two is what would you think to do from the information that you gathered for your other party?
Out of character, I say we go after and we take out that new emperor, man. We expand your rule. We expand your she rule and just give you more land. And I would assume that would give you more. Oops, sorry.
So
I assume glamour, no.
Yeah. So quick clarification. What Rosa has ascended to is rule over the local changelings.
Mhm.
She does not have a whole lot of influence over mortal uh, politics, except what she has by virtue of her role as Templar Lodge Mistress. Uh,
Mm. Okay.
her sort of like getting into position to assume the throne of Constantinople
Mhm.
would be a huge undertaking. And
Yeah.
that depends on if she even wants it.
Okay. So out of character, yo, Rosa, you want this? Cause I'm in this. I said let's do this undertaking, yo.
Don't know how I feel about that.
I think we could do this, dude. I'm saying, Rosa. I say if you really want the throne and you want power, I say let's do this, dude.
Oh
So,
That's out of.
no.
I I will say that um, changelings don't necessarily do well in positions of rulership. You remember Oberon and you remember Titania and you remember that being special and unique. If you threw Rosa into this pit of just corruption and selfishness and self-interestedness,
Mm.
as a changeling, she would probably not be happy. Because her destiny is to rule over other changelings, not mortals.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, I agree. I don't necessarily want any more power than I just gained. I just got this as
Yes,
power
settle into your
hungry as
new role
yeah,
first.
as power hungry as you guys may think my character is. She is very young still in her ways, and I am Seelie. I am a relatively good person, even though it doesn't seem like
Yeah,
it all the time in this arc. Um, but
but as a changeling, as a fairy, this is what you have achieved right now is what most changelings aspire to. So you've got it. You're there. You're at the top.
I feel good. I feel
Yeah.
good.
If once you like, so you should get settled into your current rulership over this freehold right now. If you want to get more ambitious, the way that you would do that would be by going to other freeholds and convincing their rulers to pay fealty to you. But it's a world.
You froze just a little bit in there. Just the ending, the end
Oh, okay.
sentence. I kind of missed the last sentence.
Yeah. Um, yeah, so I'm just saying that all of your ambitions uh, probably want to stay centered within the changeling world.
Perfect. Well, I am good with really attempting to claim this role that was thrusted upon me, kind of sword thrusted.
Whoops.
But I still would like. I mean, like I said, these three. I think the kitty cat left, but the two that are still there have been changelings that have met up with me in multiple times within their lives. I remember them a lot more than they remember me, and I, all in all, respect and trust them.
Yeah, it's obvious that the dreaming has brought you all together for a reason.
Yes. So I would wish it upon. I'll say that. So I fully respect. Oh my God, Alaspa.
Yes.
I don't want to say the wrong name again. Alaspa pledging your sword to me. Not, fully pledging to the dreaming. It's totally fine. I get it. You have a lot of pride. I have a lot of pride.
Yeah.
It seems as though, Mercutio, do you pledge your sword to me as well, or do you pledge to the dreaming to me? Because I respect you both, and I feel as though the dreaming has really put into motion the fates to keep us together and to keep us in this crazy, rapid chaos world.
As my new partner, Alasfa, has pledged his sword to you, I shall pledge my sword to you as well. You, not only are you beautiful and wise, but you seem like you shall be a fantastic leader. So I pledge my sword to you. For me and Alasfa are yours to do with as you wish.
Okay, so very quickly, are you just sort of promising her like as a very casual promise, or are you drawing upon the power of the dreaming, which is how changelings swear oaths? And this is permanent to the point where in your next incarnation you would still be beholden to Rosa. And that is entirely up to you. Like I personally think it's a really cool way to keep this whole group together uh throughout the various seasons. But you're also a satyr. Commitment, so it's up to you.
Well, uh, out of character, I would say that more so that I'm pledging fealty to Rosa because Alasfa pledged fealty to Rosa, and me and Alasfa just had this intertwining bromance moment that now he's told I am partners with him, and if I see that he wants to align himself with Rosa, then I will align myself with Rosa in the way that he aligns it as well. Even though that he Alasfa brings me on as a partner and a site co assassin, I still see him as my mentor in my eyes. Still.
Okay, so as a storyteller, what I'll sort of put forward is you make promises not necessarily bound by the dreaming, but as you can still sort of sense because you've been keyed into the dreaming all night. You can sense the threads of fate sort of weaving between you and tying the three of you together. Uh, Zakea has sort of been an observer looking in, but that's fine. She's a cat. She comes and goes as she pleases.
Specifically, right now, I'm appropriately mourning Epiphaltus with song on a roof somewhere. I pity anyone in earshot.
I mean, there's a really great cat chorus going on. No one is getting sleep in that neighborhood.
Yes,
You probably have to duck like a shoe or a bag of flour.
yes. An
Oh,
amphora is hurled out the window in my general direction.
I think I would
I
request
mean,
off of. It seemed as though the Puka enjoyed Alasfa and Marcutio, but Marcutio worked with her before.
yeah.
Alasfa worked with her another time. I
So
remember all this.
the
Yes.
the good news, Zakea, is have you seen the documentary Keddy?
Oh, I love that documentary. It's so good.
So it's about the cats of Istanbul. Uh, there are a whole bunch of cats in Istanbul who don't have any owners, like no specific owners, but the whole city takes care of them. Uh, and just like Istanbul was once Constantinople. You sort of like get the feeling that cats are going to comfort each other in the way that they do. There's going to be a couple new generations of kittens in a couple months who will become the cats of Istanbul.
Yes. And for now, we grieve, much to the sadness of anyone trying to sleep.
Yes.
Interesting. But what I was going to inquire was I was going to see if my two assassin friends would want to, either one of them would want to check up on Zakea and see kind of why she seems so distraught.
Yeah. It is not difficult to follow the yowling.
This.
'Cause I won't go. She's mad at me.
I suppose I would go to go to Zakeyev since I literally have been me and her have been like best buddies and she's been literally all over me this whole adventure. So all right. Oh sorry. All right, my duke. I will go and find this meowing nuisance that is going on.
Rosa is fine. You do not have to call me Duke.
Oh. Sorry. I am so sorry. Your new position is just so exciting. Off I go. And I go. I literally, I open a door and I just hear, and I hear Sakale like, ah, Rosa, it is a data way.
You can follow the very mournful meowing.
Yes. I go in that direction of the horrible meowing.
Zakea, are you in human form or cat form?
I would say that I'm in cat form, but I mean, it's probably pretty distinct that there's this one goldeny tabby that's on the roof meowing as loudly and artistically as a cat can.
Yeah, so, for Mercutio, I will say that you spot a cat, with markings very similar to Zakea's Fey Mean. And Zakea, you obviously recognize Mercutio, he's looking for you.
Little one, come down. Enough of the singing. Come. Little one, come down now. Much needs to be done.
Jump. Cat staring at you.
Ooh, you
Probably with the tail switching back and forth.
are such a trouble, you little one. But you're so adorable.
I pick up the tabby.
Oh boy.
And do that thing cats do when they're not in the mood right now. She's not freaking out and clawing you, but it's kind of like picking up a bag of wet sand.
Santi.
Not wet, as it just draping.
Okay, I get it. You don't like being beat up. Follow me back. Everyone's waiting for you.
Sometime later, behind like a dumpster or something, she emerges and says, "Did you like what happened?"
Of course I liked what happened. But now this is not the time. Everyone is waiting for you. Please, come.
What do you think happens when the troll forgets himself?
Is this a joke? A riddle?
Do you think this is the way of our kind?
It is not for me to say such things. It is for me to understand that life is the way it is. I take it one day at a time. But for now, the
Have
moment...
you lost hope?
My hope has not been lost. But you are one very, very troublesome tabby. For you must come with me. We are waiting for you.
Perhaps you would believe that when the time comes, a lesson will be taught.
Yes. Yes, a lesson, yes.
I reach into my back pocket. I'm trying to find something, anything, and I pull out nothing.
Okay. I thought I had something in my pocket that I could tempt you with, but I cannot. For I promise you this: you come with me, for everybody is waiting, and I will give you a treat when we get back.
You are followed slowly by a cat looking quite sullen.
Fantastic! Oh my gosh! You are the most Garfield of cats ever. Oh my gosh!
And I walk back, and I start walking back, and I look back at this very not happy looking Tabi. But I walk back to the group.
Before
Okay.
they enter, can Alaspa and Rosa have like a moment?
Yeah, go for it.
Cool. How are you feeling?
Fine.
You don't look as fine as you say.
I sense there will be trouble if... I mean, obviously. We will need to prepare our defenses. And this will not be the last you hear of political turmoil.
Yes, well, I plan to be in the politics for quite some time. So, the politics turmoil I'm not afraid of.
If
But
you are
you-
not careful, you will meet the same fate as your predecessor. Not by my hand,
Is that a threat?
but by someone else's.
I completely agree with you, and that is why I am having hopefully 3 of my most trusted companions who I know from past lives to be here with me and be treated as such when my court is not here, as truly equal.
Of course.
But I'm less worried about the political turmoil right now and more worried about the fact that you've killed quite some people. And it's not usually our way to feel great about that.
It's my job.
And you're down to do it again?
That depends.
So out of character, isn't there ways to like get rid of banality?
Yes, but it's difficult. It requires going on basically a quest in the dreaming.
Okay. So you're not feeling any of the turmoils of the banality?
That is my business, but if you are going to ask me to kill again, you'd better have a good reason.
Well, I honestly don't ever want to ask anyone to kill. It did not feel good for me either. But you seemed so willing, and
He was a
You have-
tyrant.
yes,
I
you
don't
have
like
a very
tyrants.
trusted. For some reason, I trust you and your opinions, even if that is to take life from one another.
Yes.
Of
course,
but
try not to
I-
become a tyrant.
Me, I will
Yes,
try.
you. That would be... I guarantee you would meet the same fate as him.
Yes, I agree. I personally
By my
do not,
hand.
and now it's a threat. Okay.
This is essentially a, like, watch your shit. You may be in a lot of danger politically, but at the end, but don't use that as an excuse to become a paranoid tyrant.
I understand. I understand that your sword will always be just. But I am just inquiring that if you do need some time to eliminate some of the negative aura around you, you need to let me know.
I'll be alright for now.
All right. Like I just, I'm fine.
Call these
Shut up.
babies checks and balances.
Yeah, so, Mercutio and Zakea return just as the sun is rising over Constantinople. It's really pretty. Mercutio and Zakea, there's a particular stretch of ocean water on the coast that is called the Golden Horn, and seeing it in the dawn light, you completely understand why people call it that. It's just so beautiful. So you walk in and you sort of see Al-Asfa and Rosa, I think a little bit tense at this point.
A lot's happened.
Yeah.
Hello, my friend. Look what the cat has drug in. And I step aside
and I show Zakea.
Zakea, you're back.
Perhaps I come and go as I please.
As you should. We have all been chatting about, well, our missions and what we've been doing these past nights and how we hope for a better future. And as with the two gentlemen you see here, I feel as though you remember our past as well. And I hope to keep each other in our minds, for the dreaming has found its way to keep us together.
There will be a remembering.
Good. Is there anything that you would like to say as well as you can?
Perhaps this place will burn. Perhaps not.
Very good.
Perhaps you will look not upon a balefire, but all the glory of Byzantium set alight.
And who should we talk to about this bright flame that will go over our city?
I don't know. I'm not a soothsayer.
Yeah, we should get that soothsayer.
We
Hire her
should.
back.
We probably should. I feel as though she did not pledge anything to me, so she left before she was able to do so.
That is true.
Do anyone know where the soothsayer left or why?
She's definitely not in the laundry.
Do not
So,
know.
she did have a lot of blood on her.
So I'm gonna hit the fast forward button a little bit on this, because we are running up on closing time. So there is a soothsayer to find in the palace laundry. All of you feel, you've been up all night. You probably want to get some sleep. You're a little bit tired. I assume you all go to your established quarters to rest. So Asfa and Mercutio, you have that special safe house. And I'm assuming that's where you're going?
Yes.
Okay. So, you have a room, a windowless room with lots of very advanced, sophisticated locks, where you sometimes host guests. And on the door to that room, there is a scrap of parchment, written in Arabic, attached to the door by a very nice girl. And all it says is, "We should talk."
Oh boy.
And that's where we're gonna end this session.
All right.
Wow. This was a game.
This Rachel, I'm as surprised as you are.
But when you
I
dropped
really
down-
like
when you
when
dropped
that
down,
kept
I
on my
thought-
toes.
That poor soothsayer.
getting berated by the Duke 1 second, then the Duke's head's on the ground the next, then there's a Puka stealing the chicken.
Yeah.
Oh,
This was great. I had so much fun running. I hope you all had a good time playing.
It's definitely interesting.
Olay!
Yeah, I gotta come up with some, I was doing some research and I'm like, oh, the lighthouse isn't actually a lighthouse. It's this actual important tower. Wow, I gotta readjust some of the plot line to incorporate that. And then it's like,
It's ours
we're gonna
now.
go do this.
It's ours. It's all good. We have it now.
I seriously
Okay.
cannot believe what we just did.
So let's at least go around, say a little bit about who we are. If you've got anything to promote, go for it right now. let's start with Harry, because
Yes.
it's always really nice to have a player who's like, well, I guess I have to pivot now.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
lot of fun. So,
Okay.
Harry, what are you up to?
Let's get the plug-in. You can find me on YouTube at the Slubry Cat, where I am currently I'm working on my next video for that in the Chronicle Doctor series, which I know it's been like 3 months, which is not good, but I promise I'll get that out once my new laptop arrives, because my old laptop cooked itself and I lost all my progress, so I got to start over.
Oh no.
I have the script down though, so that's good. I also have a series on that channel called Controlled Chaos, which is a Wrath and Glory actual play podcast featuring Rachel.
Well, I'm featuring, but I get to be the bad girl.
Yes, it's a lot of fun. We had a very dramatic last episode, and it is about to get way more dramatic. Also, Saratoga by Night is gonna be on hiatus for this week and probably next, just because it's finals week for everybody. So I'm sorry about that. But I promise you, the season 2 finale will be fucking great. Season 3 we will be returning to the present day, back to the.
I mean, you should be willing to fail your exams for our entertainment. I
Oh,
don't
of course, yeah,
understand.
yep, yeah.
Bad guy in your race.
And that's Salubri Cat on YouTube.
Yes, on YouTube, and Saratoga by Night on every podcast platform imaginable. Also, well, there's one other thing. Oh yeah, you can find me here at from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursdays, and from 9:30 to 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time, of course. Here, I'm Harry_Wyckoff on Twitter, as you can see right there. And yeah, stay safe, make good choices,
Awesome.
don't get the disease.
Yeah. Rob, that was a really great scene you had with Al Aspa. That was amazing.
Yeah.
So, what are you up to?
Yeah, hey everybody, what's going on? I'm Rob Fury. I'm basically you could catch me on official Rob Fury on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to see what I'm doing. And me and Tori Clark, as you can see over here, apparently are the new Dukes. What? We're doing our Bells of Fury stuff. We have a lot of awesome things that are coming out. We have some really cool projects that are coming out, and on top of that, we just put out this real sneak peek, because tomorrow we're actually gonna officially put it out. But we have a brand new podcast about the new anime. Well, not the new anime, but the anime Bleach. For me, it's new. For Tori, she's the pro. So we're doing a Bleach a podcast that you can find on Spotify and on iTunes, called the Bells of Fury Experience Bleach episodes. So go check us out at Bleach at Bells of Fury on Instagram, Facebook, and we're on TikTok too. So yeah, catch us. Let's laugh. It's quarantine time.
Awesome. Panda, our mournful, mischievous cat, what have you been up to?
Well, when I haven't been causing the citizens of Byzantium to miss a night's sleep, I'm pleased to say that the ongoing discount for joining Canada at Midnight continues until the end of April, because we've been onboarding domains right and left. We now have games in Austin, Dallas, Little Rock, Seattle, Tacoma. I believe there's one in Portland. I got some people expressing interest in Boston. There's one in Atlanta, Georgia. And there is also some talk that there's going to be one in Louisiana, though I'm not precisely sure where the location is. And that's not the complete list. That's just the ones I know offhand. Normally the fee is $20 Canadian. Right now it's $7.45 American, or $10 Canadian. And your new domain gets to keep the entirety of the fee.
That sounds amazing. So everybody, if you're into World of Darkness LARP, not that anybody's LARPing right now, but we will one day get back to it. Go become an honorary Canadian.
This is your one and only chance. You can become a Canadian.
And so,
we have an excellent Discord.
where should people go to take advantage of this?
The easiest place to find it is our Facebook group. Just looking up Canada at Midnight and someone will be able to help you. Or alternatively, you can go to our website, canadaatmidnight.com.
Awesome.
Great.
Yeah, last but not least, our new she princess.
Ready to move on?
The goose is dead. Long live the
Yeah,
deuce.
I'm gonna have to come up with some really fun complications for you now.
I know, right?
Yeah, but that was a great job stepping forward and seizing power and playing your character to her full extent.
Thank you.
That's always really great to see. So yeah, what about you, Tori? What are you up to?
Yeah, I've been up to quite a bit in quarantine. Obviously, Rob spoke a lot about the Bells of Fury projects. We will hopefully have one dropping tomorrow amongst the podcast as well. I also do Boss Mode Initiated podcast, which is on Tavinda Media, and yeah, I love anime. I might do another anime podcast. I'm enjoying like catching up on some of these good old animes, and if Rob's down to watch them, then sure, that's fun. But yeah, that's kind of about it. Besides the other, D&D on this page and on Plastic Age Plays and everything like that. I'm having a good time.
Are you planning on taking advantage of Avatar: The Last Airbender coming to Netflix next month?
Oh yeah.
What?
Oh
Are you
yeah.
serious?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love how he's like, meh. Yes.
That's-
Yeah, I don't know exactly what day it's coming,
Okay.
but it's gonna be on Netflix. My household's looking forward to it.
Rachel, why would you say something like that? I'm about to get right back into Battlestar Galactica, and you're gonna drop this bombshell on me. What's
Avatar's
on top of-
better.
and on top of that, Doctor Who is coming back on HBO Max.
I'm not in charge of that.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to say Avatar is better than Doctor Who. I'm like, yo, we fighting right
I
Right.
mean, they both do what they aim to do really well. Like, if we tried to have a
Totally.
Doctor Who Avatar episode, it would not go well. If we tried to have a Doctor Who Avatar episode, it would not go well.
Yeah.
No, well, I don't know. We have some creative people out there.
We'll
Third
build a whole
debate.
podcast around this.
Oh, that's great.
I love it.
Anyway, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you to my
forgot
wonderful
your slide.
players. I
Rachel,
didn't
you
forget.
forgot
I'm
your
doing it right now.
I thought you were setting off. I'm like, no, don't forget yourself. You're awesome.
No, I'm doing it right now. I want to thank my players first because there is no show without you. And I
are
want to thank the viewers as well. But yeah, no, I really love when players can throw me a curveball. That's always really fun and exciting. I know I got a lot of plot to rewrite,
Hell yeah.
but I'll do that after we sign off. Anyway, where else can you find me? I'm Stolen Fire pretty much everywhere. I just set up a Ko-fi, so if you enjoyed this show and if you feel like buying me a cup of coffee, you can find me on Ko-fi under Stolen Fires. More broadly, I play D&D with Tori every other Wednesday at Plastic Age Plays. It's a lot of fun. We're doing Scarred Lands right now. And as far as what Onyx Path is up to, there is currently a couple bundles on sale at Indie Press Revolution. They're definitely worth checking out. It's all discounted. And in what day is it? In 5 days, Technocracy Reloaded hits Kickstarter. So we get to play the vaguely sinister, vaguely altruistic techno mages. That should be a lot of fun.
Yep.
Say hello now.
Oh, just wait till they come to this show.
Oh geez.
Oh boy.
Not for a while.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, so you
Alrighty.
did technically meet their predecessors because you
Ooh.
encountered the Order of Reason last season.
Oh. Okay. Uh-oh.
Man, we should have wiped those guys out.
Wait.
Nipped this in the
Kill
bud.
more. What were we thinking?
Anyway, thank you all for watching. Have a good night, everybody.
All right, take care, people. Bye bye.